One shining moment. The Florida Gators are your national champions. Let's talk about it. So last night, as we're recording this on a Tuesday, last night the Florida Gators and the Houston Cougars squared off in the championship game of the NCAA tournament, with Florida coming away on top in a thriller, 65-63, to claim their third title in school history. On an earlier video, I mentioned it was their first title since '08. I thought '08 was the second year of the repeat. Turns out '07 was the second year of the repeat. So it was '06, '07, not '07, '08. I apologize for that. But it is their third title in school history. The first being in '06, the second being in '07, and this one in 2025. And on top of that, just as an interesting piece of history, Florida became the first school in NCAA history with at least 3 titles in both football and basketball. So this was a thrilling finish. It truly was a tale of two halves, with Houston handling Florida pretty well in the first half. They were able to shut down Walter Clayton Jr. and go into half with a lead, being up by as much as 12 with 15:48 left in the game, and then Florida woke up. It wasn't super surprising that Houston was able to hold them down in the first half. Houston is the best defensive team in the tournament, and we saw that when they were able to shut down Duke by shutting them out down the stretch in the Final Four matchup to steal the game and head to the championship. But then in the second half was when Florida came to life. They finished the game on a 35-21 run and stole this from Houston. Houston turned the ball over 4 times in their final 4 possessions, and with the last 2 being particularly egregious. First, the ball going out of bounds off the leg of a Houston player after Richard got his hand in there. The second, when he went up for seemingly, it was a weird finish, seemingly went up for a shot, then tried to pull it down, realized he couldn't, dropped the ball, and he couldn't be the next one to touch it, so nobody was there. The clock ran out. And the stunned faces of both the Gators and the Houston head coach Kelvin Sampson as time ran out before it really set in, victory or defeat, was pretty telling about how this finished. Florida surged from behind, as they've really done all tournament. I feel like every time we look up with the Florida Gators, especially in these later rounds, they have gone on a run to absolutely shut down their opponent. And last night was no different. Talking about the way that Houston held down Walter Clayton Jr. for most of the game, he did not record a bucket until 8 minutes left in the game. Florida went on to win the championship, and Walter Clayton Jr. was named the most outstanding player of the Final Four. I think he was the best player in the whole tournament from start to finish. So that is very fitting to him. Also, a quick shout out to the UConn Huskies for winning another championship for their program on the women's side. But back to Florida. I feel sick for the Houston Cougars. They've come up short a few times here in the last several years. I love Kelvin Sampson as a coach. I think Houston will be back next year. They have the second best recruiting class in the country going into next year, behind only Duke. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see Houston back here again next year. Florida played fantastic defense down the stretch against Houston in those last 4 possessions to force those turnovers, which I found particularly ironic considering that they were playing against the best defense in the tournament. They played absolutely lockdown defense at the end of this game to seal this victory. So congratulations to the Florida Gators on winning their 3rd championship in school history, all since 2006. That is 3 titles in 19 years for the Florida Gators. It is great to be a Florida Gator. Congratulations to Coach Todd Golden and the Gators on getting their one shining moment, cutting down the nets, and being named the 2025 NCAA tournament champions. Let us know in the comments, what did you think of this tournament? I thought this was the best title game and best Final Four we've seen in recent history. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this tournament. How did your team fare in the tournament overall? Let me know your thoughts on this tournament as a whole. Let me know your thoughts on Walter Clayton Jr. and the Florida Gators. Are they going to be this good next year? Until next time, I'm Roman Gennaro. This is Empire Sports Talk. It's a good day to go 1-0, and I'll see you around.